people who have thick beard and body hair are more likely to have advanced grade baldness versus those who have not so thick body hair but also have diffuse thickness. Why do you think that is?
I think there can be two reasons. One being that the balance of hormones that is existing in that person, more like a estrogen female type hormones as well as compared to the androgens or the male type hormone. So for someone who has a high concentration of DHT, they develop strong and thick beard, they have good chest hair, good body hair, and that is because all these hairs are more dependent on the DHT for growth. But on the contrary, the DHT, as we know, is the culprit for their loss of hair on the frontal and the parietal area. So these people typically would end up having an advanced grade of alopecia but has thick, strong beard as well as body hair.
So having understood this, then why people say I live in a zone of hard water, and because I went to a zone of hard water that I have lost all my hair and I've become bald. What is the relationship between hard water and hair loss?
Hard water itself doesn't cause any hair loss. The only reason being, so someone who has a genetic predisposition for hair loss or having androgenetic alopecia is more likely to have a lot of hairs that are being pushed from the growing phase or the anagen phase into the telogen phase, which is the sleeping hair. And in the telogen phase or in the sleeping phase, the hair is freely present in the socket and not attached. When a patient starts using hot water or changes the city and start using a new water in that surrounding, what happens is these salts in the hard water start coating the hair and the hairs become heavy. Once the hair are heavy and because they are not attached at the root, they fall off. So kind of changing the place is fastening the process of hair loss, but it is not the reason for a hair loss itself.
Yeah, so another evidence I would like to add is hard water should play a role in hair loss. Probably that same hard water can be used for removing body hair as well, isn't it? So there is a difference in mechanism. I do hear time to time patients who come and say, doctor, I am losing body hair as well. So that's a completely different mechanism where people lose not just hair from the scalp but from the eyebrows or body everywhere. But we're talking about hard water causing hair. So we now understand that androgenic alopecia is predominantly caused by either genetic or epigenetic modification that has happened because of their lifestyle. So predominantly nowadays it's more towards lifestyle. Why? Because even that androgenic alopecia which came later in life, today we see more and more younger patients, 20, 25, 18 coming with advanced grades of baldness. So the lifestyle, sleeping on time, not eating proper food, putting on a lot of weight, and then you go on sudden crash diet, actually is a stress for the body, and they communicate with stress hormones, and all of this is contributing to that. Before we proceed, all of us know that, okay, we take some nutrition, so immediately we go to the internet, we read which are the good foods to be taken for hair, reduce hair loss, what supplement you have to take. You have to understand whether you eat good food or you take multiple nutrients, they have to get absorbed from your gut. So there's lots of studies which talks about gut health. Now if you want these nutrients to get absorbed and so for it to go back and work in the hair. Let's say you have androgenic alopecia, just tell us, because every patient who comes to the clinic is not a patient of androgenic alopecia, because everybody thinks that hair transplant is a treatment for every type of hair loss. That is not the case. Hair transplant is specifically a treatment mainly aimed for androgenic alopecia, or you have some scar that has caused because of burns, or it is caused because of some trauma, and then we relocate the follicles which are least likely to be affected by hormones. So this is the only reason where you can do hair transplant and not for all hair loss. Okay, so now tell us what are the types of androgenic alopecia for whom hair transplant could be the first line of treatment, while others you should not jump into hair transplant.